Hello and welcome to another episode of the New World Comics Podcast. I'm Buck Berlin, owner of this fine establishment. Joined with us this week are George Carle and Eric Russell.
What's up, baby?
We are covering a pretty big topic.
The biggest.
Yeah. We decided to kind of do a special episode this week covering Godzilla and everything that we love about Godzilla.
That's right. I was going to do the scream and then said that wouldn't work out, so I stopped.
You know, the best representation of the screen, like the roar or whatever, ever in comics. Recently, I say recently, the IDW comics when they did the scream. Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
It was the oh my god.
They nailed it.
Yeah, because usually they're just like roar.
No, coming up with a spelling must have taken quite some time for that.
Yeah, like I'm sure that there was a meeting that was like scream. Oh. No, scream. Oh.
And they're like, so is that an O or an A or is that an E? What are we doing?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, we're going to be talking about all things Godzilla. We're not saying that we're the most foremost experts. We just really love Godzilla and wanted to do a special about it because, I mean, the movie just came out, and I don't know, we're just super hyped about it. And yeah.
So good. So good. Sorry.
Yeah. So,
ignore reviews.
We are going to be talking some spoiler stuff, so if you haven't seen it by now, what's wrong with you? Go see it right now. It's amazing.
Hit pause and then come back.
Yeah, there you go.
Or, I guess that works. Go see it retroactively. Anyway, we'll start off with a quick little overview, just because we're going to be throwing out some terms and talking about some of the stuff throughout the podcast that we want to kind of clue everyone into. So, in the grand scheme of things with Godzilla, the 1954 Gojira is like the canon movie. Like, it's the movie that has happened, and every other franchise, for the most part, has said that, yes, this is, this one happened, and then sometimes none of the other movies happened, and then sometimes all of the other movies happened, and it's, almost all the other movies happened. Yeah. So, it's all over the place.
100% pure, uncut Godzilla.
Right. So, right after that, with Godzilla, Raids Again?
Yes.
Yeah, is through Terror of Mechagodzilla.
Right.
Was the Showa era. And, that's the one where it can get a little goofy sometimes, and it can get a lot goofy sometimes. And, it's typically regarded as, like, the fan favorite era. Then we have the Heisei era, which they kind of more or less tried to make sense of all of the Showa stuff.
Yeah, when they should have just let that go. Let that go.
Mission not accomplished.
No.
Yeah, I mean, they had some really cool ideas, which we'll kind of get to.
Yeah.
But, they should have just kind of kept going with what worked. Then there was the Millennium series, which it's a series of series.
Whew.
It's reboot after reboot versus backtrack and then another reboot, and this one works, this one doesn't. Oh, we hated this one, so let's go to two before it.
It was like the inception of Godzilla's whole thing.
Wow. Yeah.
Maybe not even that good.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but
Yeah.
There were fun moments, but continuity, not a strong suit.
no.
And then we had the legendary pictures of the new American Godzillas, which are its own continuity, but they still kind of reference the 54 Godzilla.
Yes.
So... Ish.
Yeah.
So...
They gave a nod or two.
Yeah, you could assume that it may or may not have happened and they just don't document it, or...
Or maybe the original movie was a poorly written documentary of what actually happened.
Right. So it's just kind of all over the place of...
Just blew my mind.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then there's Shin Godzilla, which was...
enjoyable, but...
It was
Godzilla, but not Godzilla at the same time.
It was a remake of 54 Godzilla with the most impressive fire breath in the history of Godzilla movies.
Literally the only thing it has going for. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
It's the only thing it's got going for it.
Well, the thing at the end with the
Lasers?
no, not the lasers. No, that was terrible. The human thing kind of forming at the end of it. That was consistent with the thing, but it was creepy. But
Yeah,
okay, I give you
I have my
creepy
own
points.
explanation for that if you want to fit that into everything else. But that'd be later.
We'll discuss.
How's
Yeah,
this? We'll do that, and we'll kind of backtrack. Let's actually start at Shin Godzilla, and then we'll skip over Legendary because I have a whole section that I want to get there. So Shin Godzilla, it did have some of the coolest effects to it, like the him piping out the gas, which at first we were like, man, that's really cool fire effect. Oh no,
No.
that wasn't the fire.
Yeah,
And then he just sets the whole thing on fire, and it's flooring. And then he starts shooting fire out of the tail, and you're like, all right,
yeah.
sure, whatever. And then
No, I didn't go.
It was weird for me.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I mean, it was the okay. I'm open to new ideas. We'll
Yes,
you know,
yes, you are.
yeah.
You are. Yes.
okay, tail laser. I guess
It had a face on it though.
sometimes-
I found out later. It had a
listen, man,
face.
Yeah.
we've all had that sickness where you're firing out both ends, and I just feel that Godzilla's just having that. Then no, lasers start coming out of his back.
Everywhere.
No.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
and it's the look how perfectly convenient that is, hitting all the bombs and
yeah, come
planes
on
and
now.
terrible. Yeah, and honestly, Godzilla looks like he had googly eyes. Just
He did.
Clip to
I'm
his
pretty
head,
sure
yeah.
the budget ran out after the fire effect, and they were like, "Well, all we got are these googly eyes."
yeah,
So
but and he evolved throughout the movie. Like he first shows up kind of sloshing blood all over the place.
That was
It's
what
yeah.
was that about?
No, that was like,
okay.
please put that thing down. That's what it looked like. Yeah.
So
poor thing. It's-
it turns out that each stage of Godzilla, because the first Godzilla, the '54 Godzilla, was supposed to represent the horrors of usage of nuclear weapons. The Shin Godzilla was supposed to represent the 3 disasters that had just happened in Japan, and each form of Godzilla was supposed to represent the misuse of the improper use of government, and like how everyone just wanted to schedule meetings and be known
Yeah,
for
there
like,
were a lot of meetings.
yeah. Well, and apparently like that's one of the big criticisms of Japanese government, which I didn't know about. And like each stage of him was supposed to be like a different natural disaster.
Gotcha.
Like here's an oil spill, here's an earthquake, here's nuclear weapons.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, that was the whole idea behind it. Apparently, this is all what I hear on the streets.
The blood was
I guess
No,
I don't know.
okay. I mean,
Awful?
I'm
Yeah.
It's off-putting is what I would say.
okay. Yeah.
Off-putting.
So we'll skip the legendary Millennium. Let's talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, because it's from '84 till it gets kind of dicey.
No, 84 was to say.
Was it?
Yeah. Say
Oh, say was the yeah. So Millennium.
2000.
Yeah. God, yeah.
We'll argue
Jumping
about
the shark there.
We'll argue about this.
Yeah.
As far as I preferred I really like that Godzilla's design. I mean, granted, the purple may have been much, but I like the fact that they got some mammalian characteristics in the ears. It was like they took G62, which one of my favorites as a kid.
Yeah, which
Very
for those
distinctive.
watching on the Facebook and all that, we have right here, right in front of George. So, yeah, it was.
He was energetic. He was
Yeah.
not taking any names.
Or no,
Well, he was taking names, kicking. I don't know. Maybe
He was that drunkle that showed
Yeah.
up, and he was like, "Oh, this party's over."
But he was in fighting trim. He wasn't like Hissei where he needed a
belly.
thigh master, whatever. I mean, it's
But okay, you know what? I'm gonna agree.
yeah.
I liked him. He was kicking tail and taking names.
I mean, the best thing that came out of the whole Millennium series was Final Wars. Like, absolutely positively, it was the
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Yes.
well,
I didn't, we descended into controversy so quickly.
well, it was inevitable because it was basically the all right, fans, we don't know what we're doing. Here's everything.
Yep.
Here's every monster that you were like, man, where's that been for forever?
I was
Like,
glad Gotengo was there. The
Yeah.
the flying sub, that was great, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, come on, man. They had a Russian sea captain.
fine. But
I mean, seriously, in a Godzilla movie.
With apologies to any Power Rangers fans out there, the fighting sequence, especially with Monster X was just, oh no, I didn't want that. I did not want
Dude.
Power Rangers as Godzilla or whatever.
It felt like it was kind of the best of all worlds combined into it. It had one of the best and worst human stories of the Godzilla.
I'm going with worst.
Yeah.
It was like a blend. It was,
Well, that's what I mean. Like it was the okay, all right, that's kind of innovative. Oh no,
Yeah,
never
it's not
mind.
even a little.
But it was the okay, cool, man. If one writer could have just not talked to another writer
But it
and
was
not compromised.
I guess I was disappointed because for a number of reasons is that it's supposed to be the Destroy All Monsters of the Millennium series, and it just did not strike that same chord I had as a kid with Destroy All Monsters,
Right.
and everything was ridiculous. I mean, but maybe that's where you and I are different in things. Where maybe this goes back to dipping into comic books a little bit.
Yeah.
You got me to like Howard the Duck more and lighten up on things like that, where I was more serious about certain things in comics. So same thing, maybe that's reflected here in the Godzilla movies. You lighthearted stuff, I guess we'll get into Jet Jaguar later.
Oh, I love the ridiculousness. Yeah.
Whereas it's like, I don't know, I grew up wanting it to be a little more serious than it was.
Which is really funny because like the whole Heisei, thing should be like your jam.
Yeah, but then it got so repetitive. Everyone's got a beam just shooting at each
Yeah,
other.
we'll get into that. Is
Yeah.
special effects. So just real fast.
Yeah.
Because counterpoint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Final Wars.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to jump out of Millennium yet, but
So here's the deal. When I learned that there was actually a Godzilla Final Wars, like it showed up as a bootleg at my house. No subtitles. Don't need them. Plot was horrible. Right?
Right.
I watched it again with an English subtitle. I was like, I didn't need any of this. None of it. It made the movie worse. But for me, that excitement was, what? They did it. They put them all in. And let's face it, dude. Come on. When he took out Iguanodon Godzilla.
That was
Come on.
That was an important event.
I'm just
not
saying.
arguing with that, especially with the disappointment that came with that movie on that day.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where it turned into Jurassic Park or whatever with the Raptors. But the point is, that thing landed in my house and I was 12 again. I was like, they made this? And they were like, yep, not only did they make it, I stole it. That's what they said. And they brought it to my house. So if anybody's listening, that never happened. But the point is, kids, pay for your movies.
yes.
Pay for your movies. Anyway, it showed up and it had everybody in it. And I'm not going to lie, I marked out at the end when it was like, what? It's not him, it's him. Come on, man. That's straight Power Rangers. Where he morphed again? I loved it. Sorry, I loved it. We are going to agree to disagree.
Yeah. We went to so many dark places so fast. I don't know, this
saying,
must
man.
be a great podcast.
Well, how's this? Let's jump into the Heisei. So, like I said, they were trying to make sense of a lot of things out of the Showa era. Like, the King Ghidorah being a time travel-y amalgamation of the Ghidorah rats and, that are...
Dorats.
Or,
Oh, no.
sorry, the Dorats
Yeah.
that are...
Dorats.
Were they like funky bats that merged
Yeah,
together?
yeah,
right?
they're cat
Genetically
bats that-
engineered little critters that were cute and then became less cute when they got irradiated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like kids. Okay.
So the whole problem with the Heisei era is that it becomes kind of the battle of beams.
Yeah.
Like everything had
Yes.
some sort of laser or firepower that it shot out, and if it didn't, then why was it there?
Pretty much.
Even Biollante, so with the energy sap, but okay. But that was the first time, so okay, and it was a Godzilla creation, so okay.
Yeah, and you'll find throughout a lot of the Heisei stuff that I'd say half the monsters end up being some sort of Godzilla DNA morph
Yep.
or
So, for those folks that don't know the Heisei era movies, like what's a couple of the Heisei?
I would say that's the
More well known, maybe.
well. That's anything from the Godzilla 80,
85. Well,
Five.
in America it was 85.
Yeah.
I think Japan was 84.
yeah, through
That would be
Godzilla
Destroyer,
versus Destroyer.
Destroyer.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So any of the movies from 85 to I guess 97 here, something like that, like right before the American Godzilla. That,
Okay.
Uh,
So
you know.
would like a Tokyo SOS fall into that?
No,
Tokyo
that's-
SOS was Millennium.
Millennium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or the Millennium-ish, where it's different timeline kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's
yeah.
right,
Because in the Millennium stuff, they were like, all right, so those two, right off the bat, they were like, all right, so brand new era of Godzilla. here's our first outing. He's going to be the bad guy, and everyone's going to have to come and fight him.
Nice.
And then
You mean awesome Godzilla?
and then that didn't work out. So then they're like, okay, so let's try this again. So here's a new continuity, and then that kind of worked out. And then they're like, well, we don't like that. Let's go back to the first one. And yeah, it was just
Gotcha. Okay.
Or the spirits, then the one-off with him versus Ghidorah, Mothra, and Baragon.
where it's the spirits of all the
dead Japanese.
Yeah.
That dude was badass.
Which,
it was one of the scarier looking Godzillas, and design-wise, the feet were a little big. At least as far as the toys, it was like, oh, that toy would be great. Oh, no, the feet.
Feet are huge.
Yeah,
It's like if that dude ever grows into his feet.
Yeah.
NBA.
So yeah, but the Heisei stuff, like out of it, I think that it has my favorite Godzilla design, like the shape of burning Godzilla out of Godzilla versus Destroyer.
But how old were you when you saw those?
That's a very good question. Saw them and really took note of that. I was 16, 17.
Okay. I was wondering if
I was little. No.
Yeah, I mean, when the Heisei series started and how because sometimes I wonder if when you're a kid.
Honestly, I got a whole bunch of VHS tapes from either an uncle or someone left them over at the parents' house, and they almost always showed the Showa stuff on TV. So like the Heisei stuff never really reached the TV at the Berlin household.
Okay.
Unless like USA was like, hey, we've got a couple movies here. Here you go.
It's late. You're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So, and you know, the Showa stuff, there wasn't always like a lot of continuity that you had to know, and if there was something, they'd fill you in along the way. Whereas the Heisei stuff, it's referencing stuff like it gets very comic book.
Yeah, no, they do. There's continuity there, and before I just keep sounding like I trash on everything.
Oh, he's a hater.
Yeah,
You are sprinkling hate.
Well,
Hater gonna hate.
It's tough. You grow up when it's really ridiculed and no one's taking it seriously. You know, back in my day, they didn't like it until even worse now than then, than your day. But no, I think Biollante was a great story.
Yeah.
Love that.
It was a little weird at the end. Here's the the DNA of Godzilla mixed in with plants and the soul of my dead daughter.
I mean, it got dark.
Yeah. It got
That's it.
weird.
It wasn't a rom-com.
And then it gets thrown into space and comes back as Space Godzilla.
I didn't say I like that part.
And then parts of Space Godzilla morph and become Destroyer.
Yeah. Well, I thought one of the high points was Mecha Ghidorah.
Yes.
That end battle scene at that point was perhaps the best Godzilla versus another monster or kaiju fight on a screen. I think, and it's been too long. I'm forgetting maybe the timing of certain other movies because the Heisei series was really made to look bad as far as monster on monster fight scene with the Gamma Guardian of the Universe.
Yeah.
That in city fight scene brawl. Beams, but brawling, buildings getting crushed.
It's what the whole Heisei era should have been because they had figured out all that. But I think that they were just so impressed with, hey, look, we made these really awesome suits, but no one can really move around in them.
Yeah.
And I think that that's where a lot of the beams and stuff like that came.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
But I mean, in the Heisei stuff, you did get some pretty close remakes. Like they took a lot of the plot from the '64 Mothra movie, and they're like, "Well, all that works, so let's just throw this in." And all of a sudden, Batra, here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Old Batra.
they really blew an opportunity with Batra with the whole Mothra stuff because within the Showa series where they set up the thing where Mothra could be twins.
Yeah.
They should have had Batra as the evil
The
twin
evil
as
twin.
opposed to just some other creature
Sure,
from some
right.
other line or whatever. A mutated Mothra for
Right.
whatever reason. Happy Enterprises could have been responsible for that.
Yeah. If ever you come across Happy Enterprise, trust them.
Yes.
You have to.
In all
Happy-
things. Yes.
If they're trying to buy something, just sell it to them.
Yeah. No question to ask. Just take the money and run.
Yeah, it won't end well for you if you fight. No resistance. Pretty sure that's their tagline.
So out of the Heisei stuff, we ended up getting a pretty fun toy line, the Trend Masters Godzilla figures, which for a lot of us it was oh man, this is like some of the coolest Godzilla stuff ever. And you go back and look, and man, everyone is just roided out.
Yes.
Like even Mothra has muscles.
Yeah,
like
which is weird.
yeah.
Saying she can straight up bench press.
I mean, like Varan looks, like.
Varan was a better version of Varan, but I think they really de-emphasized the wings that couldn't possibly provide lift anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
They kind of got it. They're like, nah.
He's got flaps, but he's not flying with those things.
And,
They're just fins.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Gigan is like, man, his biceps. Holy crap.
And even Biolante, which had legs,
Yeah.
which was better. You could say, oh well, that's the final form. And,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
But I think Destroya was my favorite because it's like that dude never skipped leg day.
Yeah.
I mean, the thighs were just huge. It was like, what is happening with this toy right now?
So
Or he skipped every other day.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's strictly, I'm all legs, baby. But yes, that was a cool toy.
yeah, and just all the different figures that came out from it, because you had a Godzilla that had like a motion sensor that, like, as you walked by it, it would light up and roar.
This is the first time I'm hearing this.
Fun with
yeah.
cats. Very fun with cats.
Yeah, well, because it was my first Godzilla toy. Because it didn't last long on those shelves. Like it was there and gone. And for one of the birthdays, I got taken to Toys R Us, and it was all right, what do you want? And I was like, oh my god, a Godzilla toy that
Yeah.
doesn't look like a cheap knockoff T-Rex.
Nice.
Because I mean, we all own, like, any Godzilla fan worth their salt owns one of those terrible,
Oh
like,
my gosh.
rubber molded.
They're not Godzillas.
Yeah.
With the 8 teeth in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's-
got that thing.
Which we'll throw up a picture here. It's just
Awful.
awful. But
it's all we had, and we
it's
were
all we
thankful.
had, and we were thankful. Yeah,
It's really why we're the scarred adults
Yeah.
that we are now. Because they're like, here, shut up about your
Wow, I never thought that's where all my darkness about things
I'm
came
just
from.
saying, man.
Yeah.
Somebody got you a bad Godzilla toy.
yeah,
Because
the-
I got it too.
The Imperial Godzilla.
yeah.
Just saying.
Oh
The
my
King Kong
yeah.
they made with it was bigger than Godzilla.
Yeah.
That was even worse.
Hey, I feel a certain way about that, man. Just let that go.
Okay.
Don't like that. Monkey.
Well, we'll actually get to that now. Any other thoughts on the Heisei stuff? Nothing.
It was a good time.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
I was happy for all of it in spite of my gripes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to watch it, like, from 85 through Destroya, it tells a really fun narrative, and like a lot of stuff really matters, and it's really cool how they intertwine everything. Like it feels like you're reading a complete Godzilla like story.
And who doesn't like the Super X2 theme?
Right?
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If ever you're gonna listen for a theme for a super awesome ship, hey,
That's it.
Yeah.
So I will say this, for me, that particular era, it was so hard to get videos of that for me that it was always special when I got one.
so do you know why that is?
Why is that?
So early in either 85 or Biolante, it shows the World War II footage, and it shows the Americans in a bad light.
No, that's Ghidorah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Because that's when the Godzillasaurus came out and got shelled and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So, yeah, all that stuff got, like...
Oh, so we
Yeah.
said embargo.
Yeah, well, basically it was the... you all have fun with that. No more theatrical releases. DVD only.
Ah,
So,
that would explain it.
yeah.
Curse us and our USA ways. Okay.
So, yeah, let's talk Showa.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So, do we want to go, like, early on? Like, how do we want to...
Well, it's, it's
Well,
like,
there was some there was a little continuity there, because there were. And now, again, I'm speaking mostly from the American releases, because I did not, go through and watch an undubbed, a lot of cases
Yeah.
to see how well it went. So, but there were references in Godzilla, Godzilla's counterattack, or Godzilla Raids Again, whichever name you use for it.
Yeah.
Referring to the first Godzilla in the which, how many of us have been in denial? Like, the first Godzilla was never killed. He really.
Yeah.
was.
It didn't happen, man.
Yeah, no way. That old stuff was just.
he switched that out. Whale bones.
Yeah, there we go.
It's totally whale bones.
Or he regenerated even from.
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Unless you're ignoring Kiryu out
Well,
of
no,
the...
I have to say that was great. The whole we're gonna build him from the bones.
Yeah.
Because that keeps Mechagodzilla from being anything other than special, because you can only build one of them if you
Yeah.
only have one skeleton. So,
Nice.
Yeah. How is he not this disposable thing outside of being, billions of dollars?
yeah.
Yeah. So
They never really talk about that. Where's that meeting?
I'm guessing that the world has just kind of started a whole like Godzilla fund.
GoFundMe for
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
You're gonna need.
Well, because all you have to do is that it could happen to you.
That's true. We got footage.
Yeah.
So nice.
So yeah, it's it's kind of interesting to see the progression in the show of stuff, just because it wasn't a hard turn into making everything kid friendly, but it seemed to happen rather quickly.
It was the competition with Gamera, because
Yeah.
when Gamera came out, it was very
Super
kid oriented,
popular.
and then and not long after that, you worked your way to Son of Godzilla with one of the worst suits ever.
Yeah.
But as a kid, when because I was younger when I saw it, it was like anything's there, great. We got giant praying mantises. I got those in the yard, but they're big now on this island.
So, am I the only one that, as a kid, thought, "Hey, Godzilla movie," and then you got Gamera, you're like, "What is this?" Like,
No. At first I was like, he's okay. So for years I was telling George that I had this movie where Godzilla and Gamera fought. I swear to God I had this thing. Turns out I had some like bootleg tape from the flea market that someone had cut together. And as a kid, like it was all so real, because I mean, a lot of the footage isn't like the most stellar.
right.
So when you're seeing everything intercut, you're like, this is how it is.
And it took a while to kind of. It was a couple of conversations. Like, no, man, that did not happen.
I was like, I swear to God, it happened.
know
Must
what
be
I
thinking
saw,
of
George.
Godzilla. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that was Godzilla versus Anguirus. I know you know better than that.
Yeah, but finally it was found. It was the I didn't even have to pop it in the thing. It was the this is what it. Yeah,
Childhood
been
memory
had.
ruined.
yeah. It was the
darker
man.
spreads.
Yeah,
Nice.
but yeah, because we had pretty awesome stuff, and then we ended up getting oh God, not
Godzilla's Revenge?
no. I was
No.
the All Monsters Attack with Gabera.
Oh,
Gabra.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, Godzilla. Well, that was Godzilla's Revenge. That was
Was it?
That was the American
Oh,
release.
yes.
okay.
And again, a lot of the titles that I use are from when I saw them on TV as a
Okay.
kid, and that's what it was released
Yeah,
as then.
Yeah, no, I anything that I had, on the labels, what I'm going.
Yeah.
With,
So yeah, they would re-release after they started getting the collections and everything.
So I would always get excited because I'd be like, "What, a new Godzilla movie?" No, it's just that's what it was called in Japan versus what it
Right.
was called here, and that took me years. I mean, literally years. It was the Clark Kent as Superman, and I was like, "What?"
And in the releases that I saw as a kid on TV, then when you saw the stock footage, that was the real letdown for me. It wasn't that because Gabra, great, another monster, and he's got electric powers like King Kong. This is awesome. I mean, this is where your Jet Jaguar to my Gabra.
Yeah.
As far
Just
as,
so we're clear, I'm not going to let that sentence slide.
no, what?
Well, he's got electric powers like King Kong.
That's what
Oh.
I'm saying as a kid.
Yeah.
As a kid, I'm saying this because
Man.
he's got the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a fun little factoid about that here in a minute, but
Can they feel the anger in my voice right now?
yes.
Okay.
I'm not saying I endorse it now. Okay.
Nope. You know what? Make Kong great again. Good for you. All right. I know what I'm dealing with.
But yeah, so the Heisei stuff, like that's where they introduced almost all of the great monsters, and
I agree.
Turns out a lot of them had like their own movies to
Oh, you mean
start
Showa,
off with.
right,
Sorry,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
Showa stuff. God,
It's okay.
yeah,
There's a lot going
Stuck in
on.
the
There's-
90s, man.
yeah. But that's where all of the monsters originated. Most of them had their own movies, and then and also it turned out they're part of Godzilla's world.
Yep. Shared universe.
Like, hey, there's this Mothra movie, and also the sequel of it is Godzilla versus the Thing, and the Thing is Mothra. So
Nice.
yeah. So it's cool stuff like that.
Yeah, that's when a young Eric learned about depression. He was like, "Yay, the Thing!" Ah.
That is neither orange nor rocky, sir.
Nope,
Yeah.
exactly. And I saw the egg, and I was like, "I'm screwed."
Man.
Boo. Move this film.
So
Why are they calling it the Thing when it's clearly Mothra?
It's clearly Mothra.
yeah, I mean, as a kid, I was like, was this really fooling anyone? Like, what's?
It got me until the film started. And then I was like, this thing sucks, but I'm going to go ahead and watch it.
Now it would never fly in a movie, but I think since the original Mothra was a lot bigger, and I think it would have been cool to have Mothra at that scale fighting Godzilla.
Yeah.
But no one would have even bothered to watch this movie. It would have been too tough to execute in those days. But that would have been 400-foot wingspan Mothra versus. That would have been at least conceivable that Mothra could do some damage.
See? Huh? You know what, man? If I could fist bump you across right now.
Oh, that's great. Okay, I kind of made up for the
I
whatever.
mean,
whatever.
That's right.
Okay.
Look, yeah, when you brought up Electric King Kong. Which,
Spoiler alert! I think Mothra's pretty awesome.
Okay.
So
I didn't. Well, I just learned that the other day.
Yeah.
That was your number one.
yeah, but we'll get into that later down the list. How's this? Let's get into the new movie. We are going to be talking some spoilers, but thinking about this, George has absolutely one of the best movie spoiler stories of all time when he went to go see King Kong Lives.
Oh, this was fun. It was at the time when the theaters were just getting into, like the mini theaters were getting into malls, and Monster Buddy and I just went out to see King Kong Lives when it came out, and this theater could maybe fit 50 people, maybe. And there was a mom taking her kid there, and anyone who's seen the movie, condolences. And it's not going to be a spoiler. You shouldn't watch it. But at the end, King Kong, he gets all shot up protecting Lady Kong and his kid and all that. And it was a terrible, terrible movie. As we're walking out, the kid that was there with his mom says, "But the title says King Kong Lives."
nice.
I can feel that though because the kid he was right.
Betrayed.
Yeah,
That was worth the price of admission. And just that was it only. But other than that, and try to delete the brain cells that scored that movie.
Dude, listen, was it like an hour and a half or something, or I don't know. I can't get that time
whatever.
back in my life.
Well, no, years ago when I first got a job here and could afford to like go buy whatever movies, I was like, I'm gonna buy all the monster movies, all of them, every King Kong, every Mighty Joe Young, everything.
You didn't get Mighty Peking Man?
I did not, but
Okay, well.
but I mean, my this is pre-internet, like it was, Amazon wasn't really a thing. eBay was iffy at best. So I had like warehouse music and that kind of stuff. Like I had things brand new at Best Buy or like warehouse music.
Okay.
And that was
I thought
kind
you were
of
going to give us a dark web story. You're like a very young, misguided buck.
I was young and needed the money. So my options were limited. But if I saw a new movie that I didn't have, it was bought.
Nice.
So
I applaud your convictions.
So I wasted a lot of money on a lot of different King Kong movies that were repackaged and renamed and all sorts of. Yeah.
It's just okay. Look, here's the thing. It's not that I hate King Kong. I think he gets way more love than he should. Who's he fought? Who's that guy fought?
Mecha King Kong.
That does not help
That was
the case.
built in somebody's garage. This is all. If this guy was a professional fighter,
Baragon.
he gets no shot at the title. None. He's fought nobody. Nothing. And when he's fought, is he that good?
No, I mean he gets cut up all the time. I'm with you.
That dude. Okay, so the one with Jack Black.
Yeah.
As long as we're just bashing King Kong, or at least I am. I actually thought, okay, I'm going to give him another chance. And it's the same as this last one they made. King Kong's never been the star. It's Skull Island. Skull Island is bananas. I'm all about Skull Island. That bug scene with the leeches still haunts me to this day. But that's why I don't understand the level of love that people have for this dude. I don't get it. And then when you give him electric powers so he can compete.
Okay. How's this? Real quick. I'm going to get into a little factoid here that I was saving for later. The whole reason that King Kong had electric powers in Godzilla versus King Kong was because originally they were trying to do a King Kong versus Frankenstein. They were going to make Frankenstein built by a Nazi who made him grow big and have electric powers because how do you...
I don't even know how to process this plot you're telling me right
Well,
now.
neither did they. But no, but how does Frankenstein become alive?
Electricity.
Exactly. So that's the whole idea. So when they were going back and forth trying to get the rights to Frankenstein, they lost. They didn't get it in time. So they're like, we'll just throw in Godzilla because we have Godzilla. Let's do this. And then somewhere in translation, King Kong ended up with electric powers, and they were like, let's just go with it.
Just go with it.
Yeah.
See, I'm sorry.
So that's how he got.
Didn't he get drunk in that movie?
Well,
I mean,
now I think there was an original story that put together like King Kong versus the Ginkgo, which was the Ginkgo was supposed to be the creation of Frankenstein. I guess maybe that's the seed of that story.
Yeah.
But it was also connected, I understand, to Frankenstein versus Baragon.
yes.
Because then,
Well, yeah, because I think that happened. That got made after because I think that they got the rights eventually,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, if we have the rights, let's do it. And then the
Looking at you, Dark Phoenix.
yeah,
Anyway, sorry about that. Couldn't resist taking a shot. Okay.
you're saying
no, and I was just happy that it ended up with Frankenstein versus Baragon because that's nuts. I just love that. I just love that movie.
yeah.
that movie.
So for those that haven't looked into it, this is the Toho Frankenstein, who is how do I say this nice, awful.
That's a good
He
way. Yeah.
Looks terrible. I mean, kind of charming still in a giant monster kind of way. Here's a guy that will show his face.
Yeah, well, but the story, sometimes even the story behind the movies, like some of the little stories,
Yeah.
like when the fight between Baragon and Frankenstein, I had read that the craftsmen that had to put all the trees in this forest, they didn't know which trees were going to be uprooted during the battle, so they made all of them with roots. So these people are that dedicated.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
so they were, whatever happened, they were ready for it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was
You're telling me that level of planning went into that movie?
yeah.
Well, it's crazy that you have that, and then you find out that Godzilla vs. Megalon was made in 3 weeks.
I wouldn't have said it took that long.
Just as nature intended.
Yeah.
I saw that one in the theater as a kid. Okay,
I did too.
That was rough.
I got snuck into a drive-through. Yeah, that's right. They used to have those things.
They still have those things.
What?
Yeah, in Edmond, I think Kickingbird, I don't know.
Nah, Kingber's. Now you
I
go
don't
in
know.
there. It's a horrible.
Oh, no, that's a different theater. No, Edmond has a drive-in, though.
We do?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Google it.
I'm Googling.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
I'm Googling.
Don't tell me you're not the boss of me, but I will be Googling later. So there.
We've gone way off track. Okay,
Sorry.
So, new Godzilla movie. Russ, did you go see it in the 4DX theater?
I did not get to see the 40.
Oh, my God.
I tried to go. Okay, guys, here's the story. If you're going to have kids, understand they're going to smash your plans to ruins. That's just how it happens. But I tried to go to the 4D through my own hubris and the ability to party with friends. I may have missed that opportunity. So I went to see it again for research purposes, and I could not because the 4D seats were sold out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I had to go see it at a regular, Ultra SDX, whatever the sound system is.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit pouty-faced, not gonna lie.
I will say seeing the Godzilla King of the Monsters in the 4DX theater, it's one of the greatest experiences of my life.
This is gonna haunt me.
As a Godzilla fan, it. Luckily, next year we have the Godzilla Kong,
That's true.
so you'll have that, but I doubt it's going to be the same.
They gotta watch that dang monkey.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it was phenomenal. Because it was like the roller coaster for the whole thing. It was one of the best Godzilla movies because the human plot was next to nothing. Which there are a lot of complaints about that. Man, the plot was nothing. It's all this, and to which I say, you don't go to a boxing match and be like, man, I want to hear the commentators, talk some more.
Yeah, I mean, you had 11, and I'm cool with that.
Give me the ring girl's backstory. How did she get there? Yeah. No, you want to see people fight.
Right. What dark roads did she go down to be ring girl number 2? No.
Right. You're there to see the fight.
By the way, anybody that criticizes a Godzilla movie for lack of plot,
Yeah.
really?
I thought it was, yeah.
And what plot they gave, I was like, meh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm down.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was which I mean, honestly, everything that they did opened it up for so many more movies.
Yes, exactly.
And more reasons for things to fight. It's maybe they want to try to be alpha.
Yeah. See? I like it.
Yeah. So I found out that in the new movie we got Godzilla, which of course. Then we had Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah, which classic
Right.
Godzilla monsters, titans now, if you will.
The big four.
Yeah. And they tried for Gigan. They really wanted to. In one of the art books, like he's there, and then the director got told no. Turns out they had to pay for each monster. Like they had to instead of like we want the rights to Godzilla. They got the rights to only the character Godzilla, and not all the other stuff. They had to pay for each and every monster.
Oh, Toho.
Toho looks at all of them as their own entities.
You sneaky SOBs.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. So that's where we get the new characters.
Okay, so those were American creations.
Yeah.
These titans.
Yeah. These new titans.
Okay.
An aside on Toho. I mean, we have much to thank them for.
Yes.
And I mean no disrespect, but they seem to me completely enigmatic, inexplicable, or whatever, how they behaved over the years in not, using this property better. I mean, I'm glad we finally got to where we are now, but there were just so many inexplicable, from the relentless persecution of fan groups that are harmless to not, why don't we have a Robotech length anime series featuring every character they've ever created integrated into some quasi continuous story? I don't know.
Because they're allergic to making money.
I don't know. I guess.
That's why.
And how long is it going to be until we get Godzilla versus Gamera in some form other than fan film?
So there's a good chance that we might actually see something like that through Legendary. Like that's the thing that they're talking about. But again, that's all just talks.
Yeah.
Like
No Jet Gamera though.
Well,
Can't have
because
that.
I think we just get what we can get.
No Jet Gamera. I want no Jet Gamera. They can take.
You don't want a Jet Jaguar, but you don't want a Jet. I
Yeah.
see how it is.
Okay. If you want to reimagine Jet Jaguar as a Jaeger, okay, we can start a discussion. But Gamera with jets doesn't fit in a world that you're trying to make a little realistic.
I know. But
just so we're clear, we're talking about the giant flying turtle.
Yes.
With
yes.
the flames coming out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just saying. I'm down for the. Bring him.
So
Bring him.
So what he's saying is slow and steady doesn't win the race.
Yeah, that is what he's saying. That's what I'm hearing. Hate.
All right.
Into the tables.
So we got to see 3 brand new monsters, and then the 4th was rehash of last movies,
Yes.
and then we got some awesome names that we haven't necessarily seen as of right now. We've seen maybe concept art, but more than likely not. But in the movie, we got Behemoth, Scylla, and Methuselah.
Yes.
Like those are like the new 3. Like, man, those look great. And then we got other Mutos.
Yes, and Mutos.
Yeah, which, man, last movie I was like, so they fought Cloverfield?
Yes.
Like angular Cloverfield? All right.
I mean, I got
Now I'm an inclusivist in the sense that if there's a monster out there, I want it part of the universe. So I didn't have a problem with them recycling a Muto.
Oh, no. Like recycling, cool. But like last movie, I was like, really? This is what we get?
I agree. I was like, that's where I thought there were licensing issues with. They came up with this.
Yeah.
Because you've got like 18, 19 monsters you could use.
I don't know. Maybe that. Who knows how much they have to charge? They do charge for these licenses. And again, agreed. It's like not Cloverfield is there, but it was an interesting balance because either one of those creatures by themselves couldn't take Godzilla, but the two of them together made some balance. And it's like, okay, there's a real struggle going on here. So
well, but the problem was like it's there is a struggle because they told us that there was a struggle. Like,
I gotta agree there.
But no, my problem with 2014 was, aside from probably seeing it the first time after a bad day at work, it never lived up to the dread of the preview when the previews came out, and that when they said all those nuclear tests, they were trying to kill it. It was like, oh.
Right.
Godzilla is a world-class threat. Yeah, if you can't, multiple nukes won't take him down. Because in the Showa series, it was, dare we use the nuclear bomb to take him down because that'll be worse than Godzilla's. Oh, no, Godzilla can't die. Now we know he can't be nuked. He can't be successfully nuked, so that's great. But the dread of that scene from that preview, he never lived up to that. He was just kind of like a whale, just kind of leave me alone, man. The destruction happened, not counting fighting the other monsters, was, hey, stop shooting at him when he's near a bridge, you fools.
Yeah. So I think a lot of that had to do with how they framed the monster in the movie. Because, again, it wasn't, it's Godzilla. It was like, yay, it's Godzilla. And or frightened screams of, ooh, it's Godzilla, at least. But I think that, because I'm like you, I was like, oh, this is going to be freaking awesome. We got photos of ships with claw marks in them. We got references to they've tried this before. And then we get, hey, everybody, I'm just here to help people. It's like, no. If he was the Dread Godzilla, then, but they framed him, to me, they framed him wrong.
Yeah, it was, or when they did, going back to the previews, when they had the Halo jump, and it's like, okay, these are the last guys we got that are going into this, this mission that they're probably not going to come back from type thing, and the music. And,
which it turns out that is what sold them on, okay, we can make a Godzilla movie. Just that scene alone.
Yeah, okay.
They came in like, hey, check out this thing. Imagine just this visual, and they're like, all right, let's do it. Let's make the movie. And it was
Yeah.
One scene made the whole movie for him.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. I'm just glad he was fighting something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Muto's, finding out there's more than two, I was like, womp womp.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But it's kind of like you. It's like, hey, I got my Happy Meal prize, and I've already got this figure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this sucks.
It's I at least got a Happy Meal.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
These
fries are kind of cold.
Yeah, and I mean, going back, like I'm one of the few that's like, no, man, 2014 Godzilla, it's an all right movie. I'll watch it again because I thought it was funny the Godzilla teasing. Oh, here comes the fight. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. It made me laugh a lot.
What made me laugh is people were upset about
Yeah.
it. It's like that's every Godzilla movie.
Yeah, it's and here's the fight. This time it was the nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Oh, and as a kid, I remember learning that in all the cut-up versions of it that you watch on TV, you knew just about every time for the first half hour you are not getting a monster.
Yeah.
That first half hour, you're no way.
Yeah.
Not happening. Don't even think about it. You might get a picture of the monster, but you're not getting the monster. And so a little off track here. I think one of the things that helped me kind of get over that is I discovered anime, and a fight scene in anime can take 80 episodes, right? So looking at you, Dragon Ball, just saying, speed it up. But that's when I'd watch Godzilla movies. It's like, it's gonna be a minute.
Yeah.
I got some time. I can go get something to eat, get some chips. I don't care about the story.
Right.
Except for Discozilla. But Discozilla, I cared about the story. So save the planet, people. Save it from garbage.
Oh.
It's sentient.
Oh, smog monster.
Yeah.
So awesome.
So, we'll cover the new monsters real quick, getting us back on track.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry
No,
about
you're
that.
good.
Sure we will. Yeah.
So, Behemoth, he was the first one that I took notice of and was like, he's new and I love him.
I thought it was Anguirus.
Really?
No, that Behemoth? You sure you're not mixing him up with Methuselah?
You're thinking Methuselah.
Methuselah?
Is not Anguirus. One out of the hell.
So Behemoth is the...
It's
the mammoth gorilla.
Yeah, it's a sloth mammoth.
Oh, it wasn't a gorilla?
Yeah, because it turned out that
Okay.
the director loved sloths and woolly mammoths as a kid.
So he put them
So
together.
why not?
Well, and the more I look at it, it's that really does look like a Showa era monster if you were to dumb it down and you're taking two things and
So I saw him and I thought, how can he be dangerous?
I was going to say, how can he fight anybody? I mean,
with the swing into the dust.
yeah, but those
like
are
it's-
kind of really old tusks. I mean,
He's
they're bent
slow.
around.
Well, but
He's like the George Foreman of
well,
monsters.
the idea behind him is that he's the counterpoint to Kong. So,
Uh-oh, so you're going down a dark
I
path.
know, but
Getting angry, hulking out.
well, because he said that he's kind of sick of most of the Godzilla foes being either insectoid or alien or
Okay, so he wanted a
reptilian.
mammal. Got it.
Yeah, so he's like,
Okay.
let's throw in some mammals on this thing. Let's
Oh, okay, well,
Just fine. Another monster, great. Give me another monster.
Which I mean, it was the man. Okay, he kind of looks cool. I really kind of dig it, and he's got the claw, like the big claws. So I'm guessing that if he's sloth-like, he's got 30 seconds of oh my god
Yeah.
in him, and then after that it's he's winded, he's spent.
that was my fighting career. I got 30 seconds of fury.
Yeah. And then the next one that I noticed was Scylla, which I was like, that spider has a squid face.
Yeah, that was creepy.
I was like, man, that's. Oh.
And I would have swore they were just going to go for a not Kumunga.
Yeah.
And that Scylla, when I saw the name, was, well, Scylla's going to be something we hadn't seen. It'll be more like an octopus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a 6-legged spider
Yeah.
with 2 eyes and a squid face.
And whatever's happening underneath those eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah. I'm in because I mean imagine that attacking Godzilla
I
for
don't
me
want to touch that.
yeah.
Yeah. Who knows what kind of venoms it has or
And it's
whatever.
apparently
Yeah.
a Texan. Is
Yeah,
that right? Was it in
Arizona.
Texas? It was Arizona.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the thing that came out of the oil area. Okay. Because I was hoping that had been like a scorpion that we hadn't seen or something like that. Because scorpions don't get enough.
No, apparently
Monster
everything
monsters.
that we saw on the screen was
Okay.
Clash of the
Damn.
Titans, mister.
yeah.
I realized that, and they did a good job in both cases. But those are not kaiju; they're mythological.
Okay, all right. I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'm just trying to throw you a bone.
Well,
But
apparently
they did have personality. in that
apparently
second,
these new ones are based on myth. So like
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, because the Methuselah is supposed to be the oldest Titan, hence the name.
Yeah.
Which apparently it's either a rock based or like it's a monster that has like rock forming on it, and he can just like plop down anywhere and like, hey, look, there's a mountain.
So, going back to my geekdom for dinosaurs, we talking an Ankylosaurus? Is that what it would be?
That would make him not angorous. So, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but he's got the weird like tusks
Yeah, I don't know
kind
what
of
that's
thing
about
going
either.
on. Yeah,
That's the radiation's fault.
But he's kind of old. You just keep growing in.
yeah.
He's long in the tooth. See,
Yeah.
I see what they did there. Okay.
yeah. But there's a bunch of others that we've seen the names of, and apparently in the novelization of the movie, you get more descriptors of what these things are and what their abilities are, and kind of more where they're from, that kind of thing.
Time to get the book.
Right.
I'm willing to read for Godzilla.
Right.
I'll
So
do it. I'll take the hit.
yeah. So you get better explanations of things, but so far, the one that everyone's like, oh man, what the hell is Baphomet? Which, yeah, it's so do we have like a winged goat creature man thing? Like,
Where's that? Right?
yeah.
Just
And
Keep it buried.
apparently the Loch Ness Monster is one of the Titans. So like,
That's right. They had a little
Yeah.
up there.
so that's kind of
Oh
exciting.
wait, was that Leviathan? Or did they call it Leviathan? Or-
I think that was, but yeah, like
yeah. I was trying to get the scene didn't hold long enough.
Yeah.
And charge on my iPhone was down, so I couldn't. I was researching. I was trying.
Well,
Yeah.
the first day you expect like all these spoiler nerd kind of things out there, and I was surprised. Run home from the movie the first Friday. It sounds like, where's all the stuff I'm not supposed to look at before the movie? It wasn't
Right.
out there yet, and then I didn't get back around to finally seeing some of the like hyper analysis that went on that you obviously got into.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I really tried, and then when I got to the and other Mutos, I was like, I quit.
We're done.
I'm rage quitting this so hard right now. So, yeah, it's got me really excited for everything else that Legendary has. Like, I really hope that this keeps going. If it needs to be like a low quality, really awful CGI directed DVD thing to keep this going, and as long as it's this fun,
Right.
I'm in.
So, and that's the thing. I think Legendary 2014. Again, it had its issues. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, had its issues, but I did enjoy going to see it. Like it captured that whole kid feeling of, oh snap, they're doing Godzilla right this time. And it's like, they gotta get him right. But this last one, and we always fall into that trap of, well, the latest is the greatest.
Yeah.
But as far as like kaiju actual fight scenes, holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean, like they delivered. They delivered. I don't know what the budget was, but I thought they knocked it out of the park.
So the cool thing to do with the Legendary, like, I mean, they could lose most of their budget as long as they have license to Godzilla and then play with all these other things.
I agree.
We're good to go. Like, I mean, we could have like little stick figure puppets and
I grew up with the stick figure puppets
Yeah.
and rubber suits. I'm down if you go back.
yeah.
It's like I'll watch it.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Godzilla fans. It's we don't necessarily care about like the quality of how it looks. It's the idea more behind it. I think.
Well, yeah, and is it too much to say that the movies we saw prior to Legendary, in our minds, we were seeing what everybody actually saw in Legendary. We were
filling in the gaps.
Yeah.
There's a reason as kids we bought the toys.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, I'm staging this battle right.
Yeah.
Well, toys. I mean, again, when I was young, when I was really young, there were no toys I could get a hands much on, and there was Aurora model kits. I don't know how many times my dad had to re-glue King Kong and Godzilla because King Kong always lost.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be.
The only reason that he won the fight was Japan was like, we think over in America King Kong's more popular, so we're gonna let him win.
They followed the money.
Yeah.
Somewhere Don King was smiling. He's like, ha ha, boxing's rigged.
Aw.
So are your monster fights.
I guess we can dispel the rumor that never goes away that there was a different ending in Japan.
That's another thing. Yeah, because for years I was like, yeah, there totally was.
I thought that too.
Well, but again, it was one of those like flea market fan edit.
Ah, gotcha.
Well,
Yeah, because like when I bought the DVD and was like, all right, let's rewatch this, and then it was that's not how that fight scene went at all.
yeah.
There's way less fight scene in this.
yeah.
Now, as a consolation for any fans of that, there's an Urban Legends comic that has a one-page deal by I think it's Art Adams dispelling that myth.
Yeah.
And his depictions of the monsters are not only super accurate, but he gives them expressions that they didn't have in the movies, and it was
wow.
really,
Yeah.
G62 looks really angry and and totally hyped up, ready to fight. Yeah, it was worth just having that. Yeah,
Nice.
that
So
comic.
let me ask you this, guys. How do you feel they did in setting up other things with like the news releases and all? Do you guys like that style
Yes.
for continuing
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
next chapters?
Well, and I think that's the best way to give that exposition without like the old show away of like, here's a misogynistic man and his put upon girlfriend and or sister.
And they are G-Force.
Yeah, and turns out one of them's military, one of them is civilian, but their significant other is connected in this other way. And no, all three of them are now the answer for.
That's right. And did I mention they've gone through time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a good time.
But wait, they're interested in the military. They're interested in your stupid idea. Uh-oh, maybe if the military used your stupid idea, we could all beat Godzilla and or other foe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as far as the movie goes, special effects wise,
Yes.
knocked it out of the park for me.
Oh, man.
Love
I
Broadway.
have to say this because I promised my son I would.
Yeah.
Listeners, I have a 16-year-old at home who loves nothing except food. He likes no one except himself and maybe his parents every now and then. And spoiler alert, but when Godzilla rises from the ocean in Boston with the jets at his back, my son, Mr. No Emotion, literally goes, that is my guy right there. That's my guy. Look at the traps. Look at the biceps. And I'm just like, you are going way hard into this, and I don't understand why, but I'm going to go with it. And I thought that was one of the greatest Godzilla scenes I've seen in a long time, mainly because I haven't seen my 16-year-old react that well to anything except food.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really well done, and he's got the jets. He's blinging. I'm like, you may have a crib, but my crib has jets, and an endless lava flow.
And before we get past it too much, I loved how much they took and gave homage to all these elements from the Heisei
Yes.
series and the Showa series and everything. Even things like later, like when there was the fight between Godzilla and Ghidorah in the water, and then Ghidorah comes out of the water. It's like, wait a minute, that's like the end of Monster Zero.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, why did it take me like the second time going just to put that together? And or even little things like Ghidorah finally has a wingspan that can truly support its weight.
Right? As
Right.
opposed to the tiny little. You're like, dude, that guy weighs like 50 tons.
Yeah, they
There's
had
no
this,
way.
well, his gravity beams also imply there's some gravity power that allows him to float along. So why does he need wings? Never mind. Yeah.
And so, 2 words: oxygen destroyer.
Yes.
Well done, Legendary.
Yeah.
Well done.
And then, in a way, we got the oxygen destroyer twice, because we had the allusion to it with the bomb and everything. But then, at the end, when the orca, when the scientist who invented the orca gives up, that's like a repetition of Serizawa dying in the original movie.
Yeah.
With the oxygen destroyer. So well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this was the perfect love letter to the classic Godzilla fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it was beautiful.
I think the other thing they got right was scale. A lot of times in these movies, scale is all over the place, and I thought they got that right, especially when, the end when he goes to Godzilla's crib, which, by the way, did not know Godzilla had a house.
Yeah, it turns out it's the lost city of Atlantis.
Yeah, it's like, nice. That dude's blinging it.
Yeah,
for sure.
which I mean, man, way to have to give in to the Hollow Earth theories, but
Well, but
Atlantis?
but that's another
I know,
nod,
it's
because
the-
that's
yeah.
going to be the Cetopians or the Muins from Atragon or whatever. Yeah.
right. Well, but that's what I mean. Like it's the if they could have called it anything but that.
Yes.
But
yeah, they
But still, though, there's still even that touches a little bit on, probably unintentionally, with Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
that it's part of the flavor of this stuff.
right.
So
No,
I know we got a
get
bunch
it,
of
but
flat
yeah.
earthers and hollow earthers running around now that that bring that as into the forefront as some type of current controversy.
I'm down for
But-
Hollow Earth if it involves Titans.
Yeah,
Or,
so
I'm in.
I don't think they intended to stray into those waters at all. But
Right, but
yeah.
still, it's the getting a little closer, guys. Yeah.
You're standing
Where
right
else are
on
you
the
going to
edge.
hide these things? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, the ocean only goes so deep, and
Right.
yeah, I mean, or the short answer to that is Skull Island.
Yeah,
Well,
because
but-
they all
but
seem
of
to be
course-
headed there.
Yeah.
For
Well,
some
yeah.
reason. New Titans
Yeah.
seem to be headed.
but even that was a good detail that they covered, because we could accept back in the 30s that there was a Skull Island that nobody knew about except maybe
Because
a
there
couple
was-
of things.
yeah,
there's
no-
no satellites.
yeah.
Now we've got everything's watched, which is another reason for the Hollow Earth. Like if there was an actual Godzilla, we could track him.
Yeah, it's there he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and follow him. Someone tag him on top of that. So
Yeah.
zipping around underneath the earth, great.
Yeah, the only continuity problem I have with this movie is that they throw Kong around like, oh yeah, we've known about him for forever. Whereas like last movie, they're like in the 2014 one, they're like, what the hell is this thing?
Right.
Well, Monarch was still not exactly broadcasting everything. Like
Yeah.
when Monarch says we knew about him, well, Monarch did.
Yeah.
And now that
And
everything's gone
I
out
think
there.
they showed the footage of him like raging on Skull Island. It's like, doesn't he do that all the time anyway?
Yeah.
That's like, this just in, Russell running around naked in his house. It's like, well, I do that all day. Oh, I've said too much. But anyway, the point is,
Yeah.
he wasn't doing anything he wasn't supposed to be doing. The other monsters are attacking cities. He's on Skull Island, hanging. It's just another reason he sucks. Just saying. Dude's horrible. Just okay. And also, I had to promise this. I'm on record, Buck, as a Mothra hater.
Yeah.
I mean,
Whoa.
straight
Uh-oh.
up hater. Hate her. Like, should not be fighting anybody. Came out of this film with newfound respect for Mothra.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I've been wrong. This
Which
version,
you have been.
well, I don't think so. But this version I can get down with. But Rodan, nah. Nope, sorry, he punked out.
So that's actually
I
the
did like
next
the
thing
look
that
of
I yeah.
Rodan.
Yeah, the look was great.
Oh yeah.
He's a punk.
That's the next thing that I want to get into. Who are your give me your top 2 or 3 favorite monsters? Like not counting Godzilla, because I mean,
I got you.
yeah,
Well, this guy in front of me,
yeah.
King Caesar.
Why so?
Because, well, a couple of reasons. Why, you ask, Buck? I'll
Yes.
tell you why. Because, first of all, you have to sing for 3 minutes to he's got an intro.
Yeah.
Like, he ain't coming out till the song is finished. And I love everything about that. And then when he comes out, you're like, what is he? Is he a dog? Is he a lion? What is he exactly? Doesn't matter. He's quick on his feet. He can do kung fu. And if you shoot lasers at him, the lasers come back at you.
Yeah,
So, all good reasons to love King Caesar. The only other reason is they never give him the due, man. That dude was kicking major tail for a while.
Yeah.
And then it went south. But the point is, I love that guy, and dude, I'm all about King Ghidorah, not Mecha King Ghidorah, King
Just
Ghidorah.
classic King.
Classic King Ghidorah,
Yeah. Interesting.
because he's the one guy that Godzilla has always needed help, always.
Yeah.
That's what I love about him.
Well, except in whatever version it was where he was the ghost Godzilla.
Oh,
Yeah.
But he had millions of Japanese dead soldiers in him,
Yeah.
so
And
They
that
have a cure
Ghidorah,
for
I don't
that.
think that Ghidorah was that big too in that one. It wasn't a little
No,
bit big.
yeah, because Godzilla was the biggest
Yeah.
monster there, and everyone was shrunk down.
yeah,
So yeah,
that's it. But those two for sure.
interesting. George.
Well, again, as the inclusivist, it's hard really to just say which one per se, but ones that I always go back to. I like some of the obscure guys. So, I mean, I love the big four. Always want them there, no question. But Baragon, I mentioned before. I mean, the not Godzilla. In a way, if like Godzilla and Anguirus had a kid, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I mean, he's got elements of both of them. In there.
Two
It's
families,
just-
forbidden love. One
so,
child.
So whatever.
Which-
And what we
yeah.
saw the other day too in one of those graphics things where the crazy ears actually cover his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So with him, his horn apparently is like the thing that helps him burrow. Like
Okay.
it's the thing that energizes.
Ah.
Right. And we've never seen it in any kind of action, but there was a sketch of him and the weird like curve that's cut out of his ears, supposed to flap over his eyes and like.
Oh, so when he burrows,
Go
he doesn't
around his
get
horn.
boulders.
Right.
in
Yeah.
his-
And he's got big bug eyes, so you don't want those.
Yeah.
You don't want
So
bugs
so
going
his
to those.
ears go perfectly over his eyes.
Okay, I'm giving
leave the horn
somebody
out.
points for design.
Yeah, it was the. Why was that not brought up?
Yeah, 'cause
Why
that's
did you not
cool.
lead with that? Yeah.
That's cool, because otherwise I'm like, what's with the dude's eyes?
Yeah, because he's like a shorter, stout Godzilla that, yeah.
Who can't fight,
Yeah.
but
Well.
can
Well, he
dig.
can't win. He can fight. He just can't win.
Once again, George, don't bring up my middle school past.
Right. And Gorosaurus is another one I go for because fought Kong, got beat up by Kong, still came back, proved that Kong has no follow through.
He has none.
You can support that. And the reason, aside from him being obscure, he had that great move against Ghidorah in Destroy All Monsters that he sneaks around behind him, figures something out with Godzilla, hits a guy from behind. I mean, he doesn't have any beams or anything, so all right, I'm going to play to win here. And then kicked him, knocked him down, and then
Kangaroo
that was the end.
kicking foot.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah, the
loved
kangaroo
it.
kick.
Loved everything about it.
So, my favorites Jet Jaguar. Oh my God.
Okay, now with the controversy.
And you may now end the podcast.
Oh my
Okay.
God. So, he's not my end all be all, but he's.
How's he on a list?
Because he's so much fun. He's a terrible, awful robot that grows hot. Oh my God. What?
He needs to fight Gabra.
Dude, that would be the
Yes.
best.
Yes.
Oh my God.
No.
So,
No.
I'm just saying, as far as fun goes, like he's not a great fight. Like you don't choose him first for your dodgeball,
Nah.
but you
Or
know,
shuffleboard.
but-
Or checkers.
but you invite him to the party because he brings so much flavor.
Because he can program himself to grow. I mean, even as a kid, I knew that was just beyond the suspension of disbelief in these kind
Right?
of movies.
I'm buying the giant ladybug of death. I am
Why
not
does he
buying
program
that this
himself to grow a little bit
robot
bigger?
Can do that.
Yeah, it's just
Nope.
I'm just saying he was able to get to one level. Just because you can't get to the other level doesn't mean that you're deficient. I'm just saying.
But I'll give him credit. He knew the secret sign language that Godzilla knew.
Now,
to be
that's
able to
true.
communicate
Yeah.
with him. So yeah, how he knew that, I don't know.
He probably programmed himself to know that.
Yeah,
I'm just
okay.
saying.
That's right.
He's pretty excellent.
You like Jet Jaguar.
That is the best reaction.
Dude, okay. We've thrown around the word awful quite a bit tonight.
Yeah?
However, that dude.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Nope, I'm going French. Horrible. He is
So,
horrible.
also, he was one of those submit your own character to Toho, and Toho's
Oh,
like, yep,
no.
that's the one. Let's use him.
No, there
and then-
had to be better.
Well, he was one thing, and then he kind of got morphed into this, these other things, and then it was time to make Godzilla versus Megalon. And they're like, 3 weeks, let's go with that.
Okay.
And they put like the orange and the light blue and the
Yeah,
70s
it's the-
colors in him.
Couldn't reprogram his color scheme.
No, clearly not.
He was amazing. It reminds me of going to Stars and Stripes Park.
Oh
Like it's,
I mean, it obviously was just
that color scheme.
Ultraman. It was just Ultraman.
yeah, well,
it was
and that's
just
the thing
Ultraman.
is,
Yeah.
like, they wanted Ultraman, and they're like, here you go.
If he sucked.
Which I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't like. Let's go Zone Fighter. Like I don't know why they didn't.
They should have
Because
done
it's some
that.
probably crazy rights thing, but
But they all own them,
they
yeah.
brought Gigan and Godzilla over to Zone Fighter,
Yeah.
but who knows? TV versus movies versus
I don't
some
know, but-
lawyers got involved.
The rest of your list is irrelevant.
Is it because the next one on my list is King Caesar?
Oh, well then you're back. You're back.
It's easy to say now.
No, he's right there. See, right there, King Caesar.
Yeah, that was just like
Yeah.
there in case you needed him. So I feel
But-
like right now.
Well-
a bit of emergency. King Caesar.
All right, and because I'm not afraid of the unpopular opinion, my favorite Godzilla monster.
Obviously.
Yeah,
Clearly.
my favorite other kaiju monster, Mothra. Oh my god, it's a freaking moth.
I would rather watch Japanese Frankenstein
Eesh. I mean,
than watch
it's
Mothra.
out there.
Now the new Mothra, I'm in.
I'm just saying.
She's packing.
Mothra defeated Godzilla with just like, oh, let's,
Yeah, don't bring that up.
I'm just
Don't,
saying.
don't throw that at me because those are fake facts, alternative facts, fake news. Never happened in my continuity.
I'm just saying. It's Mothra. Mothra is the lightweight that took down the heavyweight.
No.
No, he fell off the island and was just bothered not to come back.
Let's face it. You've walked into a spider web. You'd freak out too. You're just like, what?
This is just not worth it. It is beneath me to continue fighting these larvae.
Because
So,
here's
yeah.
it'd be like him fighting a little person, or you'd be like, well, if you lose, what just happened? If you win, everybody's like, dude, really?
Saving face.
So he's like, nah, man, I can't fight this bug.
No. Listen, you all are just wrong.
Mothra sucks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But as a kid, as much as I didn't like that ending, I was happy to have a movie that, you TV God, 4 monsters. That's right, a movie with 4 monsters. Granted, one's a copy of the other, but still, we got 4.
Doesn't matter. It's 4.
How's this? Who are your least favorite monsters?
Not counting Jet Jaguar?
Right? Because that's my top 5 least favorite monsters: Jet Jaguar, Jet Jaguar, and Titanosaurs.
Yeah, you got 5 oxygen destroyer missiles. What do you fire them all into Jet Jaguar? So.
I'm gonna go with Titanosaurus.
Really?
Thought he was lame.
I mean, he only had one movie to prove himself, though.
He turns his back in a fight. Who does that?
He was inherently a peaceful monster. That's
Rodan,
why. Yeah.
and,
Rodan.
Also a buster.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that.
Baron and
Okay,
yeah.
so there's a lot of them. All right, the point is, it's an epidemic on Monster Island. Don't turn your back. No one learned anything. Jeez.
All right, so Titanosaurus. Anyone else that you just loathe?
I mean, there's that Mothra cat. But I have to give respect where respect is due. This version of Mothra, I can get with.
Interesting.
I can get with that version because it had weaponry, as opposed to fly around.
I'm just saying, those webbing, they're very effective.
They are effective. Oh, and I know it's a little off topic, but there's the scene where Mothra webs Ghidorah.
Oh yeah.
And Godzilla's reflection in the skyscraper. I was like, oh, it's about to go down.
Yeah.
But that being said, Orga
Orga, interesting.
did not like. Well, I thought it was a blatant ripoff of Biollante trying to swallow Godzilla, and I was like, I'm not
With a
having
little
it.
rancor in there.
Yeah. See, I didn't like
Yeah.
it. Didn't like it.
It's funny because my nephew Ben, like for the longest time, that was like his end all be all favorite.
Really?
I mean, he was 5,
Okay.
so
He's allowed.
Godzilla exposure. Yeah, there's the
Yeah.
monster. Boom. Okay.
George, who are your favorite, or sorry, least favorite?
Well, I gotta go. Megalon bugs me. No
Ah,
pun
see,
intended. No, it was
well
not intended.
done.
Not intended. Because it's like, even as a cyborg, how did those drill hands work?
Right.
Again, I'm getting into the whole suspension of disbelief. I know, a ridiculous topic for what we're talking about, but you can only go so far.
Well, and he looks really cool. Just
Yeah.
as far as that one sticks way out from.
I had to when I wrote a story for the G-Fan.
Yeah.
I disliked Megalon so much that I had to write some sort of origin that it at least explained that he was not originally that form. So I went out of my way to reimagine his
you
origins.
took time.
Yeah. He was a beetle, like he was supposed to be, not a beetle missing 2 of his limbs, replaced with drills. From a culture that can't even, the Cetopians. Like, what?
Where they wouldn't even conceive of a
Right. So I did not like Gigan the first year for the same reason, same movie.
Yeah.
I had not seen the previous one where Gigan was, but I did like the Final Wars Gigan. But I thought the chainsaws were too much.
Oh yeah. But it's true to his character of like he's one of the most vicious fighters, but like as soon as it doesn't go his way, he just,
The thing is,
punking out.
yeah.
For all again suspension, we all have our like nerd explanation for things like how could this be real? How could I accept it? If you look at Gigan, it looks like somebody attempted to cross Rodan and Godzilla DNA, and it didn't quite finish. Because if you look at it, you got basically Godzilla's body, some Rodanish stuff,
And the hooks.
and it's like, oh well, no, the arms didn't. Well, we gotta put some hooks at the end of it because it's no hands. So
Again, not popular. I liked the chainsaws.
yeah, okay. Well, I
I
mean,
liked them. I mean, he couldn't pick up anything, but he couldn't before. So
You can't hug your kids with nuclear arms.
yeah. Well,
poor guy, man. So misunderstood. All I'm hearing is that you don't like amputee monsters.
wow, man.
That's what I'm hearing.
It's
Jeez.
just the suspension. If you can cross the boundary of suspension of disbelief well enough, if you can realistically in the confines of what we're talking about, explain why you have a giant cyborg and the fact that you can manufacture such. Why don't you make 50 of them and get
It's
it done?
expensive.
Limited resources
Yeah.
and time. Time factors into a lot.
That's right.
So they couldn't just make 2.
Right. Yeah, they could make 2 smaller ones.
No.
So many meetings.
Yeah.
so
right.
many meetings.
So
Finance it.
Magma, that one's tough for me, but for other reasons, the giant walrus from Gorath, not because inclusivist, yeah, I'd like Magma in there, but terrible childhood thing. Again, you look in the TV guide, oh, planet coming to Earth, and there's a giant monster that foils everything. Every time they cut that scene out, and it goes to commercial, and they're like, look at that, cut to commercial, come back, no monster. Watching the whole movie to see a monster, never saw it, never knew what it was. It took it took many years later of fan books coming out to, oh, that's what that was. I can understand why they cut it out.
Yeah.
But still,
terrible.
That's more of another dark moment, really. That's shading that.
See, for a lot of this, it was all right, well, I'm not going to mention, like, Ebra or the Condor or, like...
But you just did.
Well, I wasn't gonna. But, like, because I figure that everyone just hates those.
They're necessary, though. They're necessary as
Condors,
fodder.
yeah.
As fodder.
Yeah. You got to have some easy wins on
Again, the
Monster High.
Condor is probably Wile E. Coyote. Every
Well.
time flies back at Godzilla, gets burned.
Yeah.
It always ends at the end of the
Stop
day.
doing that.
That's right. End of the day, the Condor is always limping back to its nest to regenerate.
There you go.
And get burned the next day.
Interesting, because my least favorite, I put down 3. Gorosaurus, I've just always hated.
Wow.
Well,
No,
for one
you see,
thing,
no.
he jumps you from behind.
Yeah. He's just, let's
What
kangaroo
he doesn't
kick
have
you
a
in the
beam.
back.
He doesn't have a Heisei era beam. What else is he gonna do?
I don't know, headbutt you with that giant T-Rex head.
Yeah, it's way too big for the body.
Yeah,
I
like...
don't know. Have you seen dinosaurs? I mean, they do have somewhat of a big head
So,
sometimes.
so you're saying that take the
Radiation.
body of a teen T-Rex and the
Radiation.
adult T-Rex head and just
Like
there
South
you
Sea
go.
Islands radiation. It's just, there it is.
Gigantism.
It doesn't always make you look beautiful.
That's right. X genes ain't for everybody.
That's right.
Varen, I have always hated, like, in Destroy All Monsters, like, is there a more worthless character there?
Well, the suit was messed up. I understand. That's why both Baragon and Varan didn't have much of an appearance in there because of the suits being in poor condition.
Oh,
That's
really?
What I understand. At least Baragon, I'm certain of that answer. That's why. In the American release of Destroy All Monsters, when there's the attack on Paris, and Baragon attacks Paris, that's Gorosaurus coming out of there. There was some swap over, I think,
okay.
related to that. For one
Interesting.
reason or another. I'm not sure if the suit was the problem there, but the two of those monsters kind of have a association because of scenes like that. But the Baragon suit was also it was used in a lot of repurposed for a lot of the Ultraman things.
Yeah.
So that thing probably got hammered on too much. You only got that little scene in the end.
Interesting.
Varan
Okay.
bothers me because those little flaps. You can't fly.
Right.
Sorry.
No, you could glide at best. And, yeah.
No, you can't. You cannot glide. You can glide like a rock. Okay.
Is that his power?
It's ballistic.
Jump up really
That's
high
what I'm
and
saying.
land.
If Ghidorah can fly with those wings, that's what I was saying.
He has a way better chance
Yeah.
than Varan flying with his not wings.
So my absolute least favorite monster, like of all the MonsterVerse, I almost would take Condor over him. Rodan, I hate Rodan.
Ah,
Rodan is so worthless. Like, it's just.
it's supersonic destruction.
Is he?
It's a great love story at the end. I
I'm
mean, the
saying,
other one
like-
won't leave that's dying mate. I mean, come on, he's got a heart somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm saying that Mothra has more, like, to do than Rodan.
What just
Yeah.
happened?
I'm just saying, like, Rodan, like, will peck at you and, like, flap its wings at you.
No, man, he's got these claws. Did you? No.
No, in the new movies, he's got these.
Even
Like,
the old movies. He
Yeah,
had claws.
I mean, like, he.
Come on, in the Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, the Showa series, that Rodan Godzilla battle, fine. You know, I mean, he kept picking them up and dropping them and everything like
Yeah.
that. There was still something about seeing those monsters fighting in the distance to give you the sense of this is Japan. Every year, every season, every kaiju season, this is what's going on.
Instead of tornado season, that's Kaiser season.
So
Get
it's just nothing
underground.
but straight line wins every. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like.
That is an interesting take.
Yeah, because like Mothra will at least shoot a spider web or moth web at you.
Don't
Only
forget,
as the
don't
larva
forget
in
the,
Showa
the
series.
stripper glitter.
I was gonna say stripper glitter will knock you out.
Or
Well, it's been
electrify
known,
you.
Yeah.
it's
Or
been known to knock
electrify
out
you.
many of them.
Yeah.
So, there's
But-
that.
Yeah. So
Or it could reflect energy if it's a Heisei series.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
or the dust can heal. Like it's it's multifaceted. Rodan, they eventually did the here's Fire Rodan because he's lame.
Well, it didn't. Well, you can blame that on the Heisei series because
Yeah.
everybody needed a beam.
Right. I'm just saying. It's the only time that he wasn't absolutely worthless because he finally had a like.
So did you
Yeah.
rejoice in the Legendary movie?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Cause
Oh, when that happened, although when he got back up and was like, so you fell down because you got punched in the arm?
see? Punk.
No,
Yeah.
he got skewered. He was. I mean, that spike went through him.
Well, yeah, but then he gets up like, I'll walk this off at the end.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
the
these
choice
things
either.
lived for a long time for a good reason. I mean,
There's no
Godzilla got
Uber.
nuked to the face to revive him. These
Yeah.
things are on that order of
Right,
durability.
but you say that, but like he got stabbed through the shoulder, and he was like, I'm dead. Wait, nope, just kidding.
well, come on.
Hey, what's up, new boss?
Actually, he actually went squat.
Yeah, well, the thing is, no, but Rodan is the perfect standard bully. As soon as he took a solid hit, all right, you're the alpha, not me. You know, whatever.
My bad.
Yeah.
They did make him a bit of a punk in that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but hey, true to form.
You're just fine. It was great characterization.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I've never in my
That
life been
hurts.
like, man, let's root for Rodan.
That hurts.
Oh, man.
But the name recognition, though, at least. You know,
I mean,
Rodan. He's
as
the
a
third.
sculptor,
Yeah, no, not that Rodan.
fine specimen.
He's done some work.
Yeah.
I mean, he's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
But as a kaiju,
That is a unique take on a classic monster.
I'm just saying, I don't know how he's in anyone's top 5. Like, show me the tape.
Yeah,
I'm
put
surprised.
Jet Jaguar.
Wait, where? Do you have one more on the list? Because I know there's somebody you hate that you didn't say yet.
Who?
Mega Garrus.
Oh God, I hate that. See, I hate him so much that I don't even think.
Sorry for bringing it up.
Oh my God, yeah.
That exists.
Here's
Film didn't
the
happen.
Okay, so here's the evil Batra. Like, you know, it's more evil than evil. Double evil. No.
But shouldn't he be good? Was there multiplication?
Yeah, like
Why is he good?
it's like
They're
turns
doubling
out,
down.
Turns out Bizarro is Zabaro.
Zabaro.
Yeah.
It's
Oh God. Oh.
And the abdomen was way too fast
That
to fly like that.
that makes me love Godzilla less.
Well,
Like,
you know what? Well, will this make
stole
you...
your joy.
Yeah.
Wait, this could make you feel better. You hate Rodan, and Mega Garrus was a take on the Mega Neurons from the original Rodan, so you could have extra reason to hate him now.
Even yeah, you know what? I'll take it. It's Rodan just makes everything worse.
See, your hate is pure, and I understand.
You know what? This is not a podcast about Godzilla. This is therapy.
I think so.
I think it,
Who hurt you, Buck? Which kaiju hurt you?
Rodan. The fact that Condor was just a repainted Rodan. He got tarred and feathered, and you're like, oh no, this is the new look.
It's Rodan from Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm back. What? We're fighting. I'm too old for this.
Yeah. All right.
say Ibara. That's good.
So I have one final question for you, and it turns out, at least from what I've read, will say a lot about you. Godzilla, is he a villain, a force to be reckoned with, kind of like, oh, we all need to worry about the threat of Godzilla, or is he hero, protector of the world and the land?
all right, I will. He's got to be the threat. Now, granted, I want situations where he fights the more evil threat like Ghidorah.
Right.
So, but him, and I love what Legendary's done, and I love that he's gotten respect, and yeah, he got, but still, he's got to be. I go back to that preview that when they said, "Oh, we tried to kill him with all these 15 nukes or whatever," and it's like. He needs to be the dread. He needs to be, oh no, Godzilla's supposed to, yay, Godzilla. I gotta land there. If you're gonna give me two choices, I gotta land there.
Okay, Russ.
I like to think of Godzilla like Shaft. He's a complicated man, and
No.
no one understands him but his woman, who is apparently Mothra.
Well, I don't know.
Weird.
There was that the Dr. Pepper commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's weird. I gotta have him. I gotta agree. He is the black eyes. He is walking death. He is not to be trifled with. He's the bully that beats up the bully, and then he takes your money.
Interesting. Growing up, I was like, well, Godzilla's obviously the hero. But, I mean, that's most of the movies that I watched,
Right.
where, no, Godzilla just saved us. Yay! Look at Godzilla. Turns out how you see, and this is just, off of one article that I read, and it was that's interesting, introspective. How you feel about Godzilla, hero or villain, reflects on how you feel about nuclear weapons. Yeah, I was like, wow, does it?
I don't know. I mean, I'd be kind of selfish in the sense that I don't want the radiation pouring back over on me. So I guess so it's kind of that's not a very altruistic.
Well, it was one of those like, because
But it's real.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to die every. Have you seen Chernobyl? That looks horrible.
Right, and see, that's where it came back at me. It was like, I don't want those kinds of weapons, but I still want a Godzilla hero. What does that say about me? But it was man, that's fascinating. I wonder how true is that.
I think it's crap.
Well,
There's your take.
Yeah.
So hang on, just so I'm clear, because I want bad guy Godzilla.
You think of Godzilla as the threat to be feared.
Okay, which nuclear
Which
weapons?
is the threat to be feared.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Whereas my stance should be, man, that's the power that we need.
It could solve all of our
Could
ills.
solve all
I mean-
It is supposed to be the takeaway from that.
Gotcha. So you could harness the power of 1,000 Godzillas.
And then that's the
A big treadmill, like a big,
Yeah.
big hamster wheel. No, I mean, it's just who knows where they got that idea from. But I mean, it's like, of course, you'd want, if nuclear power could be harnessed, fine, and we get free, we get like a Mr. Fusion, like or whatever. Who wouldn't want Mr. Fusions? Like, okay, we don't have to have any bills anymore. Throw the trash out, get some energy. Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm down if they give us a Monster Island.
Oh yeah, well,
Yes.
I think that we're not going to get a Monster Island out of the thing. I think we're just going to get Skull Island as the new Monster Island.
I got you.
yeah.
Well,
Pellucid
whatever it
pass
takes.
back.
I do fear nuclear radiation. I
Yes.
think it's unhealthy, and most of the video games I play, it is the cause for most mutations that are not positive.
Yeah, that or TCRI. Stay away from. Oh
No.
For the turtle fans out there.
Ah,
Yeah, I'll be over here.
the ninjas.
Yeah, see, I'm just a little bit younger than you fellas, so
Ninjas. Ninjas.
yeah.
The Foot Clan. That's all I'm saying. Foot Clan. The hell.
Anyway, any other closing thoughts or feelings? Anything?
I, for one, am excited that they've, one, taken this property and actually done some good things with it.
Yeah.
Again, they've had some missteps, but I think, like, my kids are excited to go see this, which for me is everything.
Well, yeah.
Because when I was a kid, dude, if I could get to the theater and watch Godzilla, I was all about it.
One, my wife, who was always like, I don't want to watch a Godzilla movie. She was like, all right, I'll watch one. Which one do I watch? And, my favorite one is Godzilla Mothra, like the 63
Right.
or 64. Like, it's...
Where your guy wins? Yeah, whatever.
I'm saying it has the best human plot of all the... If you're going to watch one of the Showa era monster movies and like, no, everyone here's a legit, like, reason that all this could be taken seriously, that's the one.
Okay. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. The plot was decent.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, it was Shakespeare compared to all
Yeah.
the other plots.
Yeah.
But, yes.
I'm gonna have to, as far as favorite movies, if that's what we segued into,
Yeah.
just kind of a final point. As much as I like a lot of them for different reasons, and I'm totally on board with what you said about what Legendary's done. Yay, keep it up, guys, keep going with it. I'll go back to King Kong versus Godzilla '62. It was the oldest memory I have. And as much as there are things about this Godzilla here that, man, he's the wrong version of a dinosaur. Dinosaurs are reptiles and therefore dumb, and they don't have the... And I like the mammalian characteristics of a lot of the newer designs of it. This just always hits me because that is... The scene when he breaks out of the iceberg, hey, take a look at that, Al. It's Godzilla. It's like, how do you know it's Godzilla? You know what I mean? What's going on? And then strays onto that nearby military base that they had waiting there for him, and just destroying everything. It's like, yes.
Your lunch is served.
Yep, there it is. Boom.
Nice.
Well, cool. Well, guys, thanks for joining us for this
thanks, man.
this big Godzilla talk. Like, I've been dying to do one of these for a while, and it just seemed like now was kind of the perfect time to do that.
I don't know that we're the crowd to let your Jet Jaguar love come out to, but okay.
I'm just saying, listen, don't be afraid to be yourself, folks. Love your inner Jet Jaguar.
There's a little Jet Jaguar in Buck,
No,
not
but
in
if he-
anybody else.
Yeah, but if he programs himself to grow, he's going to blow your head off.
You know.
It's not going to work out.
Seriously, Jaguar is horrible.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
He's the best.
It's totally the worst. He's new Coke. No.
He's coming back, you know.
We're trying to get people excited about Godzilla, and here we're telling them not to watch stuff.
Don't watch Jet Jaguar.
Watch all the Jet
everything
Jaguar.
else.
Compromise. Fast forward to the Jet Jaguar parts.
I got a better idea. Poke yourself in the eyes with a fork.
Oh,
Then watch Tokyo Drift. And then if you're still feeling conscious and up to it, watch Jet Jaguar.
or just enjoy your Godzilla movies of choice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you all for joining us. Special thanks to Drew Stone for throwing this whole thing together. He's with the Communicore Media Systems. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll be back next week with another episode. Thanks.
Thanks, Drew.